Oi, oi, boys, we are here. Final declarations are in for day one of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. I'm going to run you through every single one of my bets. Now, you'll know that I've stopped the anti-post betting in its entirety, I guess is the best way of saying it. I still do have a few dabbles. You'd have seen I've been putting horses up on anti-post columns left, right and centre, and videos on this channel too. While I mention the channel, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, please do like this video, and please do comment either with your thanks or with your best bet for day one. I really appreciate the support. On to what I've done, right? I've had about £1,500 worth of bets so far for the week. Friday's only got about 80 quid's worth, so that's the day where I'll be at the races. I'm tempted to get stuck in if I need to. But day one, I've staked £700 as it stands. So in the Supreme, I do still side with Facile Vega. I've had about 75 on him at 11-4. I have backed in the without mark as well because I do quite like Facile Vega. So I've had a little bit on Marine National and a little bit, like tiny bit on Diverge. I've had more on Marine National than I've had on Diverge. So I'm hoping Facile Vega does the business. In the Arkle, we know I put on Morale, so I'm about a £70 loss in there. I won't be having a chase in the race. I will be having a £10 bet, or I already have, on Hollow Games on the exchanges. I just think he's a lot better than he showed the last day, and I might better trade that tenner back in running rather than backing him each way. Each way could be a way to play it though. I've done a similar thing in the Supreme actually. I'll go back to that. Dark Raven's a horse I loved as a bumper horse a couple of seasons back. Didn't run last season, has come out this term, admittedly beaten the Dublin Race Festival, but you can get 30-ish, 33s on the exchange. So again, I've backed him for a tenner, and I can probably trade him out at maybe like 20s or something like that, or 22s to get a free roll for 100 quid. I think he'll travel in running, to be fair. So that's what I've done with that. The Ultima's a race that we love, up the ratch from last year. He is way too short. I know there's each way places on offer, 8 from Skybet, which are good. Stick many horses in these block bets where you'll do maybe the Boodles, maybe the Ultima, but there's good handicaps with extended places to take advantage of. I do like Oscar Elite. I fancied him quite strongly for the Hennessy. The Now Elaborate Trophy didn't work, didn't happen. He did bleed in this race last year as well, but it does sound like from Joe Tizard's comments that this has been a long-term plan. So I like him off a pound higher mark. I've had a good few quid on him. I've had 30 quid on him, about 14s I think I've backed him at. I have backed a few others though, right? So I'll be honest with that. I had a small bit on 300 through 5 earlier in the season, expecting his mark to come down, and it hasn't. I've had a little bit on Nasalam as well. I say a little bit, I've had a score on Nasalam. I quite like him apart from the fact he hasn't tried the trip. I do have a teeny tiny bit on Karatch when he was being nibbled. Pretty much a stake saver. Happy Go Lucky, I've got a few quid on at bigger prices. Fast or Slow, I've got more than a couple of quid. I've got probably about 18, 20 quid on him. Just because when the money was coming in from that side of things, I thought I could trade if I needed to, but I'm happy to leave him to run. I've also done another sort of stake saver on Inter Overdrive. So I've covered bundles of horses in this race. I've staked just over 100 quid on it, I think, but I've got, like Oscar Elite's going to run for 350. Fast or Slow's running for about 300. I've got other horses that are running for like 150 to 200 pounds. So just getting excited because it's day one, right? I'm not betting in the Champion Hurdle. We'll leave that as is. Mare's Hurdle. I mean, saying not betting in the Champion Hurdle, why don't I just have the 700 quid on Constitution Hill mug? Anyway, Mare's Hurdle. I've talked about Echoes of Rain a lot this season, right? I was expecting this race to cut up a little bit. It hasn't. I still like her. I've got about 35 quid on her. She'll be going for about 400 and something quid. So Echoes of Rain I do like. Marie's Rock is one I real fancy now. So I've had 50 on her at 4.5 on the exchange, 7-2. Because that's what they reopen the markets up as. I think it's hard to see how short she can go given the fact that there is depth in behind, like your Honeysuckle, the Mug Punter money. But I really do think the proper punters will get stuck into Marie's Rock. So 3-1 seems fair. So I've got 50 on at the minute, right? And I was tempted to get her up to 75, maybe even a ton. I'll see how it goes. I've staked £85 on the race in total, but as I say, I've got 400 quid from Echoes and Rain. And at the minute, 250 from Marie's Rock if she goes in, but I'm tempted to top up on her, so just to reiterate that. The Boodles, Takeo, I've had a little bit on him. I've had 30 quid, a little bit, 6-1, or 5-1, sorry. I do think his UK mark's light. Like, I think he's much better than 135, so I'm fairly happy with him. I've had to do Jazzy Matty as well, just because he was in front of Takeo and he's £10 lower now. And I know it doesn't always work out like that, but Gordon knows how to ready a horse for this, so I thought he was too big a price. So I've got like sort of 12.50, a half point on him at 30s, and then I had a cheeky tenner on Bad because everyone was getting involved and I didn't want to miss out, sort of FOMO. So again, that sort of race I've maybe staked 50 odd quid. Bad's running for a ton, Jazzy Matty's going for a couple of hundred, and Jazzy Matty's going for a few hundred. Gaillard Demesnu in the National Hunt Chase. I have had a ton on him. He was 6-4 early in the week. I thought that was just too big a price. And I've talked about Manella Crooner quite a lot through the season. I've got a few quid on him as well. So Gaillard Demesnu I expect to win. Manella Crooner will hopefully go in. And I've had a £100 match bet with Daryl that Manella Crooner will out-dodge Mr. Coffee and finish in front of him. Again, thank you for all your support. I appreciate the comments, the likes and the subscription. So do make sure you like the video, comment below with your best bet or just to say thanks, and subscribe to the channel. Be lucky.